help you if you need it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, I am Kathryn Troutman. I am the proud author and publisher of the book, The Stars Are Lined Up for Military Spouses, the third edition. And the beautiful spouse on the front is a real active duty military spouse. Her name is Carly, and she could be in this class. I'm not positive, but I'm so thankful that I got her to be on the book cover because I really love her smile. It makes me happy. And her mom is my book designer, Tracy, and she is here in the class. Thank you very much, everybody, for all the things that you've done. And there's Tracy, she says hello. I'm so glad to be here. So I just want to tell you a tiny bit about the book and how and why it came to be changed so much from the second edition. There's a story behind it, and it's a really good one. And it's why the book changed. So it's teaching The Stars Are Lined Up and a webinar, just teaching based on the second edition. I had my PowerPoint up, and I was saying that I was talking about hiring authorities, and I said there's a hiring authority called the DoD PPP MSP, DoD Priority Placement Program. No, it's a Priority Placement Preference, but it's really not a preference. It's a program for military spouses who are living with their sponsor on the installation where they are stationed. And somebody wrote into the chat box right then, and his name was Mike, and he said, "No, really, Kathryn, it is a preference." And I wrote back and I said, "It's really a preference? It's not just a program or a direct hire authority?" He said, "No, it's really a preference. If the spouse has a best qualified resume, and if they have all the right documents, including a document called the self-certification checklist that's signed within 30 days, their resume will rise to the top of the list, and a spouse must be hired. It is actually a preference for DoD jobs on the installation where they are living." I did not know that. Preference, we all know veterans preference is fantastic. Veterans preference is incredible. I mean, if a veteran applies to a job public announcement and their resume is best qualified, they rise to the top of the best qualified list, and a veteran must be hired. Now, there could be 10 veterans in the list, so you can't guarantee any veteran will be hired, but one of the veterans will be hired of the BQ people. So that's veterans preference. And so the military spouses do have a preference. So I wrote to him, I said, "Nobody told me this. I speak about this." Well, he did. He was Air Force, HR, and an active duty military spouse, and he spoke. Well, this book here, which is on the screen, is now broken down into two. I was a military spouse when I was 19. So that's why I feel, good passion for military spouses, because I know how complicated your life is, because I was there too. Part one of the book, look right there. Part one is
so we can reconvene.
Spouse hiring program.
Apparently,
they're retarded, everybody.
Somebody needs to put their thumbs on mute. Okay. I'll admit these people here. Okay, so part one is about the hiring programs, because I wanted to put the complicated stuff in the book first, because it is complicated. I mean,
what I can get is that they changed the cabinet out.
That's what a dog is saying.
And
Nicole, are you there? Can you mute them? Yeah, somebody mute them. Thank you. Okay, so here's all the hiring programs, and everybody,
I was just told
have
to.
7 hiring programs in the book. Now, this particular class.
I did, so I implemented the old back.
Alicia, please
They
mute.
tore that out in the meantime, put the new.
Yeah, I don't have access to mute her.
It's that little bit.
Right here.
You did?
I think it's Kevin.
There we go. Okay, good.
Has to mute. Okay, we got it. So my program here in my hour, I'm not going to cover every single hiring authority. I'm going to review them, but the one that I'm really going to hit in this class today is star number 2, which is the DoD MSP PPP program. I'm hitting that one hard today because this one is my favorite. And this one is not well known, and I'm going to talk about that one mostly. Derived preference is also a preference that not many people realize is so strong. So those two and three. But the book has 7 hiring authorities in it, 7. All in one place, everybody. This is the only place on print or internet where you are going to see all 7 of the hiring programs for military spouses in one place. It took a whole year to do this, to research it and get all the information together. It was a really, really hard book to write. Then part 2 is how to write a best qualified military spouse resume. Because if your resume is not best qualified, nothing works. Nothing. The hiring authorities don't work. You don't get hired. You don't get interviewed. You don't get referred. Nothing. So the resume has to be BQ. You have to match the announcement. The questionnaire has to be the highest possible. So it's 2 things: know your hiring program and the BQ resume. And, you know, I talk about resumes, I think, even when I'm sleeping. And I have fantastic samples in the resume. And I have, check out tip number 8. I have samples of the way a military spouse could add their military spouse volunteer job to their resume. And military spouses here in the class, by the way, everybody here, those of you who are active duty military spouses, did you know that your job, volunteer job as a military spouse, it is a volunteer job? In case you didn't really realize it, you might have, but you didn't, you might not. You can add to your resume your job as a military spouse as a volunteer job, because with the government, volunteer jobs are equal to paid jobs. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you samples. I know you might find that hard to believe, but it's true. I'll show you right now. I know you're dying to see it. Page 71. I did invent this with the 2nd edition. This is not brand new. I had this before and I just love it. Okay, so here is a volunteer job block for a military spouse. Here it is. There's a summary. I'm a veteran. She's a spouse, mother, volunteer, quilter. It's a very personal intro that the spouse did write, and I do love it, and I'm keeping it. I'm not changing it. So this is her spouse history. Masawa, before that, Everett, before that, Camp Lejeune. And the dates are right here for her history. Yeah, thank you for putting the name of the book in there for me.
Recording in progress.
Yeah, there you go. And then we added her military spouse competencies. So when you're a military spouse, you have a lot of knowledge. I thought of this format back when I was working on the 1st edition, which was when people were using PPPS. And I came up with the idea. Here's how I came up with the idea. There was a program called PPPS, and spouses would go to an HR person, either in person or virtual, and have a meeting, and you would get added to this list. It was a separate list, just a list. And there was no BQ stuff. It was just a list. Well, it went away on April 12, 2019, one day out of nowhere. Somebody just said, end it. I wrote a whole book about it. I had to take all those books to the landfill and throw them away. So then I asked my HR expert, who was my friend with PPPS, and I said, okay, so now how are the spouses supposed to apply for federal jobs? They said, they're supposed to apply for jobs on USA Jobs like everybody else. And I thought, oh, whoa. Their resumes are a little different because they travel and they move and their jobs, you know, kind of broken up and everything. And I was driving down the street one day and I thought, I know, the spouse should add their military job block to their resume to show that they're a military spouse, especially if they're going to try to get a job on a military installation with the DoD agency. They can show that they have a lot of knowledge of the military installations. And I asked my friend Lagaya, who was a senior personnel policy analyst at Merit Systems Protection Board, I said, do you like this idea? And she said, sure, why not? Volunteer experience is equal to paid experience. Did you know I was a military spouse? I said, no, I didn't know. She said 100%. 100% at it, because it is volunteer experience that is valuable to DoD and installation. So there's one sample, and here's another one. Okay, this one is military spouse volunteer. There's the date, 20 hours a week, Yokota and Scott. And this person is trying to get a job doing fitness work with a new degree. And this is what she did when she was a military spouse volunteer right there. She did fitness programs, protocol. She knows regulations, and these are her competencies. So this is it. I call this a job block. Whenever you have a block of time and duties, for me, it's a job block. I talk about job blocks constantly. One more. Okay, this one's incredible. Let's see, 6 locations. And the competencies are public affairs, writing, logistics, budget, and then we have an accomplishment. There are 3 full case studies in the book of military spouse resumes, and all 3 of the case studies include the military spouse job block. Now, if you've heard me talk before, or you've been to one of my classes, you may have seen this before, but if you never heard me talk, you never seen my book before, you probably never heard it before. And so you might be surprised about it. And I'm going to ask you a question here, everybody. Here it is. Have you seen the military spouse job block sample before? Go ahead and say yes, no, maybe, whatever, because I want to know if you've seen it before. You can also say, do you like the idea of the military spouse job block? You can write that too. Say, yes, I like it, or I'm not sure. You can say, I'm not sure. Do you like the idea of adding your military spouse job volunteer to your resume? Do you like the idea? Do you like it? Will you do it? Oh my gosh. Okay, Chanel, you can think about it. Hillary, I think it's an excellent idea also. And again, ask any HR person you ever meet. Volunteer experience is equal to paid experience in the government. This is a volunteer job. It is a volunteer job. And you have a lot of knowledge. You have knowledge of regulations, safety, logistics, planning, budget, morale, welfare, education systems. Incredible. Incredible. Okay. And oh, you know what else I should tell you why I have everybody here? A lot of military spouses do homeschool for the kids. And I taught a class somewhere. I wrote a blog about it. Maybe I'll find it and show it to you. And somebody was in the class saying, I've never had a job. I never had a job. I just teach my kids at home. So I don't have anything to put on my resume. I said, what? Wait, what? You're a teacher. And she said, well, yeah, I'm a teacher. Oh my gosh, she's a teacher. So I wrote the whole job block for her and on the resume. Oh, I have to show it to you. Hold on. It's in my blogs. I wrote the whole job block right in front of the whole class. I interviewed her in front of the class. All I got to do is search for it. Homeschool. Here we go. So if any of you are homeschool teachers, all you have to do is copy this and you got it. There it is right here. Homeschooling is a job for the federal resume. That's me and her right there. I was at Moody. Look at this. Here it is. Georgia Public Schools, 6 years. Elementary school teacher, K through 5th grade, activities planner, curriculum designer, community liaison, key accomplishment. Oh my gosh, do you believe this? She did not know that she could use this as a job block. She didn't know. She had nothing on her resume. Oh man, that was such a good story. I had to put this on in a blog. So you can find it. Oh, I can put it in the chat if you want. All you got to do is go to my website and just type homeschool teacher and it'll come up if you forget that. Isn't that cool? I know that's really her right there. She was so excited she couldn't stand it. I did another class at Fort Carson one time to a bunch of spouses, and there was a young woman there who just worked on a farm, or her parents had a farm. She didn't know what to do with it. Oh yeah, we wrote it up. We wrote it up like she was a farm person. It was incredible. All right, now I'm going to use this PowerPoint. I have a PowerPoint here. I'm going to send the PowerPoint to everybody. Yes, I am. I am in the mood to share. Hold on, I got to change my screen. I usually don't send PowerPoints to people, but I want you to have it. Oh, wait a minute. You can't see it, I know. There we go, I got it. Okay, so this is a very nice PowerPoint, very simple. Okay, how to share federal jobs as how to land a federal job as a military spouse. And here we go. Did you know that military spouses are an essential workforce for federal government? Yes, I think so. They just need to get the job. Thank you, Julie. And I'm going to help you. So there. Can military spouses get government jobs? Yes, they can, but they can. Your chances of getting one is going to be way better after you listen to me talk for a little bit. Now, I love this. Paulina Chen did my PowerPoint. She came up with this idea, the golden ticket. Oh my gosh, Paulina is so smart. This is what I learned in that class, that chat, that little tiny chat that Mike wrote. This is a preference. And I didn't know it. DOD, MSP, PPP, those are the right acronyms. So there it is. That's my favorite of the 7. If I was a military spouse again, and I lived on any base, Fort Meade or anywhere, and I wanted a federal job, I would use this hiring authority here, and I would make sure my resume is best qualified for whatever job I'm applying for, and I would play this game. I call it a game. I would play this game, and I would make it work. And I'm going to show you how to play it. I'm going to show you how to do it. And I'm going to show you the announcement too. I'm going to go live to USA Jobs, and I'm going to show you how to find the language. I'm going to prove it to you that it's real. Okay, what is it? Do I qualify? What documents do I need? Oh, you know what else Mike said about documents? Oh, this is sad what he said, because he's HR. He said, so I'm HR, and I'm the person who put together the list, and I looked at the spouse resumes and everything, and I would get a spouse resume who's totally best qualified, and this person is totally at the top of the list. And then I looked at the documents, and the self-certification checklist was not signed within 30 days. And back then you had to sign the checklist within 30 days. They got rid of that rule, that stupid rule. And I had to throw this person out. Oh, he was so upset. Oh, nowadays you don't have to sign the checklist within 30 days, but you do have to have the checklist there. If you don't have the checklist, you don't play the game. So that checklist is amazing. Does this apply to spouses, disabled veterans? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yeah, it does. We'll show you. How do I find the jobs? I'm going to show you how to find them. how do I write my resume? That's part 2 of the book. So the agency must select an applicant who has priority placement preference. You have to check it off in the questionnaire. Check it off. Yes, yes, yes. But Asantha, I have to tell you though, if you have veterans preference, if you're a spouse of a disabled veteran who's 100% or more disabled and can't work, you have veterans preference. And veterans preference is better than this preference. So you have veterans preference. And so if you apply for public jobs and you have that SF-15 letter and the certificate, his VA letter, you can apply as take the veterans preference for your spouse, and you can use that to apply for jobs. So you have preferences both ways. So there's the self-certification checklist again. Oh, you know what I'm going to do after the class? I'm going to send you the checklist as an attachment. Okay, everybody? I'm going to send it to you. And you don't have to sign it within the last 30 days, but they do say you have to sign it recently, whatever that means. So you might need to put it on your calendar to sign the stupid thing and re-update it, re-upload, stupid thing. But anyway, and you have to be best qualified for this one. So the resume is critical. You know, you got to pick up the right announcement. You know, that's the way it goes. Do I qualify? You have to be a citizen. You have to be a sponsor of active duty. Now, this would work for Guard and Reserve, but your sponsor has to be activated 180 days. So, you know, you have to do that. They have to be on orders. You can use this 30 days before you locate to your next location. That's pretty good. I'm glad to hear that. The positions have to be within commuting area of the duty station. You can only do one job offer per PCS move. That's kind of reasonable. And you can't already have turned down a job at that location already. This has to be your first effort. And you have to have no bad performance issues before. What documents? Here we go. Documents. That self-certification checklist, you have to have that and you have to sign it recently. And they actually use the word recently in the announcement also. Marriage certificate, PCS orders. If you're current fed, you need the SF-50. And how do I find the jobs under DOD, MSP, PPP? Well, I'm going to show you that. You go to USA Jobs, you look for DOD, but I'll show you. You don't have to read that. So here it is right here. You go look for DOD jobs, and then you look for military spouse jobs. That's it right there. This is only for DOD jobs. This is not for the whole world. It's only for DOD jobs that are open to military spouses. So when I talked to Paulina about the PowerPoint, you know, the book is complicated. It covers 7 hiring authorities and it has 3 case studies. And I told her, Paulina, what's really important to me for military spouses is for them to know that this DOD PPP is a real preference. And that if this spouse lives on installation somewhere with their spouse, that this program is a preference if the resume is BQ. And so she pitched the PowerPoint for that because that's what I wanted, because I just think it's awesome. Now, I did this research before the hiring freeze and before Trump got elected, but this is hopeful to see this. I'm so glad I did it, even though it's not true for today. The reason I did it was that I wanted to show you in the world before, okay, DOD total at this date, which was really like, I don't know, 6 months before the election, DOD totally had 4,200 jobs. And of the 4,200, 1,700 of them were open for military spouses. That's not bad. And 1,500 were for veterans and 2,300 were public. That's interesting to see, isn't it? Because, I mean, sometimes people think there's no jobs for military spouses. That's not true. There was. Army is not as good. That was not a great number. Air Force, okay. Navy. Anyway, totals are here. 11,000 altogether for DOD. And what was that? 40% military spouse. Not too bad. So wasn't it kind of good to do that? Even though the numbers are not true today. We know that. So now about the resume. How do you write the resume? Is there a number, limit, no, there's no limit on applications. You can submit 10 of them. If you can find 10, 5, just wait till you see the results. You can submit, yeah. Draft the resume. You put your eligibilities at the top of the resume. I'll show you samples. I want you to add your military spouse job block. I would like you to do that. I mean, you could add it and see what it looks like, try it. Add your qualifications as a spouse, and then you'll have yourself your military spouse resume. The formats in the book, I call the outline format, just like what you see, I showed you a minute ago, the all caps. 3 to 5 pages is the length that it should be. It has to match a job announcement, it better. And it has to include all the required information. Now, I'll just tell you simply, the required information here, I'm going to type it. It's so simple. Month, year, month, and year to month and year. Hours per week. Street, address, city, state, country, zip. That's about it. Those are the required bits of information that if you don't have that for each job, boom, you're gone. So if you were to type your resume on a plain piece of paper and skip all that, you're in the trash can right there. Isn't that incredible? If you use the builder will prompt you with those, but a lot of people don't use the builder and they miss a whole thing. So I just thought I'd tell you that. I personally don't like the builder. Oh yeah, you have to have titles. Supervisor's not required, but sure, job title, yeah. Okay, now here's the resume for Laura. So we put her education first because she's trying to get a job as a social worker now. So there is her degree and her certifications. And then she was actually in the Air Force, so we put that job there. And then here's the top of her resume. Oh my gosh, don't faint when you see this, everybody. Look at this. She's got all 7 hiring authorities. She's overseas. So she can qualify for 13473. That's a direct hire authority. That's not a preference. That's just only like a nice thing. You can be hired if a manager wants to hire you. It's not as good as MSP, PPP. And then direct hire authority for overseas. And then MSP for overseas. And then DOD overseas, State Department, family, and PPP for DOD. I am recommending that you add your hiring authority to the top of your resume. Every single federal resume. And just, if you were going to just add MSP, here's how you do it. Real simple. You just type that at the top of your resume, underneath your phone number or address or something. You can say it like that, but you can keep it real simple. That's really, really good. If you're networking, you're sending your resume to someone, or you're at a job fair, they need to know your hiring authorities, or let's say you're veterans preference, or you're 30% or more disabled veteran, or you're eligible for Schedule A hiring, or eligible for post-secondary hiring authority, eligible for EO 13473. Those you would type right at the top of the resume underneath the LinkedIn or the email so that managers can see it. And then, and also another huge reason to do it. Now before all this non-hiring stuff that's going on, there was a talent portal at OPM where HR recruiters were going to this talent portal to look for people for recruiting. I know the first talent director was with National Park Service, and he had recruiters going into USA Jobs to look for people. And he told me, his name is Glenn Hooks, he told me to tell people, to add their hiring authority to the top of the resume so that his recruiters could see their hiring authorities right away on the resume, so they didn't have to go look at documents on the other page. That makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, it sure does. So you definitely need to do this. All right. Oh boy, look at this. Look at that PCS history. I'm so impressed. I'm truly so impressed with what spouses do and give in their life and their career. This is real. This is one of my case studies. So there's that military spouse history, and that's, you'll see the whole resume in the book. And these are her competencies as she traveled everywhere: logistics, community engagement, community building, military spouse advocacy. That's a really good one. I like that one a lot. Those are great. And then you can also add other volunteer experience to the resume. Also, look at this one here, but the church group, she did a ton of stuff. She got hired. This is somebody I met at Schofield when I taught a class, and she got hired so fast. She was hired like in a week in HR assistant. And then after she got that job, she got another job in logistics. No, they're not on my website. They're in the book. Ashley, sorry, you have to buy the book. They're not on my website. I'll show you in the book what they look like, so you'll see them. But I'm sending the PowerPoint to you. I'm giving it to you. You can have it. Core competencies, your turn. Core competencies are important to add to your resume. You put them in your accomplishments. Gwen, you really can't download it onto your desktop. You should send me an email and ask me how to do that. If you want to do that, you can write to me. Gwen, write to me. You have my email. Here's my email, everybody. Write to me. Yeah, you need the book. These competencies are important. Add 5 of them to your resume. Okay, wait a minute. Here we go. Accomplishments. So I'll show you the chapter in the book on accomplishments. Man alive, I'm like crazy about accomplishments. You have to add them to your resume, but let me show you from the book what they look like. Okay, so we have samples in the book, which I'll show you. LinkedIn, everybody, you have to update your LinkedIn. It's terribly important. It's more important than ever with so many people looking for jobs. So you just really have to put it on your list of things to do. If you keep a calendar for all the stuff you have to remember, just put on your calendar, LinkedIn, update. Just use the calendar. Just do it. That's how I do stuff. I put it on the calendar. That's how I remember stuff. Now, qualified and best qualified. This is really important. My favorite term is best qualified, of course, because, you know, in the HR world, best qualified means you're going to get referred. If you don't get best qualified, you don't get referred. That's the way it is. With my clients, when I coach, I'm always saying I want to help you get best qualified. The way you get best qualified is the resume has to match the announcement and the questionnaire has to be the highest level. That's how you do it. The preference programs, the resume has to be best qualified. So that's why, I mean, I go for BQ all the time. Hiring authorities, you could be just qualified and it will work. That's nice. Okay, then hiring authorities, I already talked about that. So EO 13473 is a hiring authority. It means a manager could hire you if they choose to. And then there's one overseas. It's the same thing. It's the same program. State Department has a good hiring authority. And then there's the one that I'm talking about here, DOD Military Spouse Program. Then they have the same thing for overseas. I already went over all that. Now, if you are hired in the government, just be sure, yep, everybody could mute. If you are hired in the government and you're going to get PCS somewhere, make sure you ask if you can move your job remotely. You can always ask. Networking is very important. Please network as a spouse, very important. Look at this thing here. Don't you love this? This is federal here. First, you have to be eligible with the documents. Then you have to be qualified for the job. Then you have to be best qualified, like I've been talking about. Then you have to get referred to the manager, and you have to get an interview selected. I've been teaching a lot of private industry resume writing for people that need it a lot right now. Guess what the deal is? You're not going to believe it. Okay. You write your resume, you apply for a job on LinkedIn or somewhere. An HR recruiter receives the resume. They decide who's interviewing. They interview you. That HR recruiter who reads the resumes straight out of LinkedIn, they decide and they interview you. It is one step. But then after that one step, there's going to be 2 or 3 more interviews. It's just incredible. It's very, very different. Okay, so that's the end of the PowerPoint. I am sending this to everybody. All right. Now I want to go back to the book. No, I'm going to go to USA Jobs. Let me change the screen share. I want to show you how to find these jobs real quick, and then I'll go back to the book. I know we have 20 minutes. I'm going to ask you at the end of the class in the chat box when we're all done to write the top 2 things you learned in the class. So you can wait for that. Let me find the thing to share. Oh, there it is. All right. Okay, now I have my count up. Can you see USA Jobs?
Yes.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure. I can't see the green thing. Okay, I'm going to do a search. Here we go. I'm just going to type a word in here. I'm going to just type administrative and do search. Okay, just to get the ball rolling here. I got to take all this stuff out. Okay, now I'm going to go down to department. I'm going down to DOD. I'm going to go back up here and get rid of that word. And now I'm going to go down to hiring path. And I'm going to click on military spouse. There's 485 jobs. And I'm just going to click on search again, 485. Okay, total in the world, there are 485 jobs, DOD military spouse. Okay, now I'm going to save the search. I want you to see how to do that. Here we go. Save this search. Click. I already signed in. I thought I signed in already. Oh, good. I'm still in there. Oh, shoot. I'm going to do it again. Wait a minute. I want you to see how to do this. Hold on. It only takes a second. A lot of people don't know how to save searches. And it's very, very important that you save searches because you can get the emails all the time. And I could do a save search for a particular military installation, just for an example. Okay, now search. 485. Okay, let's put one location in. We'll do Camp Lejeune. There's only 15 jobs, but that's okay. I'm still going to save it. Save the search. And the search is called Camp Lejeune. NC, military spouse, DOD. And that's all the jobs, all the grade levels, all the titles. It's just all military spouse, DOD jobs in Camp Lejeune are going to come to my email every day. Okay, now I'm going to go and look for that now. There's my search right there. Now I can view my saved searches right here. There's my saved searches are right here. There they are. Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, military spouse, DOD. And I can look at them here also. I can come to this dashboard here. This is the dashboard. I can come here and look at this. And here's the 15. You can also select by type of job. I could also select by type of job if I only want to look at certain jobs. So since there's only 15, it'll only take 1 second to look at them. And you can see whether there's anything that's of interest to you just by scrolling quickly. Let me ask you a question in the chat box. Do you have any saved searches in USA Jobs? Now, go ahead and tell me. Well, if you're looking for a federal job, if you want one, you should have a saved search. Any HR person would tell you to do it because you're not going to remember to check for jobs all the time on your own because you're just not. So this is a very, very good thing to do, is to do a saved search. Remove filters. I'll do one more. We'll do Fort Meade. 195 jobs in Fort Meade. Wow. Wait a minute, I was wrong. Oh, get rid of that word. 22 jobs in Fort Meade. Oh, but I don't want to look at Library of Congress because I only want to look at DoD jobs because those are the only ones where MSP will work. Okay, there are 10 jobs DoD. Okay, then hiring path, military spouse. I only want to get military spouse because that MSP only works on those jobs. DoD MSP. Oh boy, not much. That's it. Too bad. Well, anyway. Okay, save the search. Now, I don't know why it comes up edit. I don't want to do that, but the save search isn't too happy, but I didn't. Save searches. Did it save it 2 times? It didn't save it. Well, you know how to do it now. Anyway, that's how you save a search. And I recommend that you do the save search because it could save you a lot of time. But now I want to go and look for these jobs. Because what I want to show you is very important. I want to show you how to find the language and the announcement for the DoD jobs, because I want to show you how to find the words, okay? We'll do Air Force. Air Force and hiring path military spouse. I'll look at 2 announcements. And then, and I have not looked at these words before, so I'm just looking. So I could be, oh, this looks good. Training curriculum specialist at GS9 in Alaska. Okay, now I'm looking for DoD MSP PPP language that says that self-certification checklist, and that hopefully it will say that if you are best qualified, the spouse will be hired to the full performance level. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, spouse is right there. And it works for 100% disabled also. No. It's not in one place. You have to scroll. You just can't find it everywhere. All right. Oh, there you go. There it is. MSP, if determined best qualified, must be selected. Oh my gosh, I did it. Look. Take a picture of that with your phone. I'm serious. I just proved it, didn't I? Didn't I? If determined best qualified, must be selected, placed at the highest grade for which they applied, but you have to have these documents, including this self-certification. Oh, look at that. It says dated within 30 days. you better still date it within 30 days, I guess. Half the announcements don't do the 30-day thing, but this one does. This is very, very real. This 30-day thing. Poor Mike. He was so sad with this. Isn't this amazing? There it is right there. I'm proving it to you. This is a real good announcement. They're not all this clear. This is Air Force. This is a very good one. All right, I found another one. Oh, these are all Air Force. Oh, I chose Air Force. That's why. Oh, something not working, of course. Let's see what Army does. I don't want to look at reserves. Oh, the reserves are hiring. Let's do this one overseas. Oh, let's just see what it says. Who knows what it, this is NAP. Who knows what NAP will say? I don't know. Duties, NAP. Spouse employment preference, thank you. I've heard that this preference thing works very, very well overseas, better than here. Oh, they have literally no words. No, NAP doesn't have good language. There's a lot of kid jobs, man. Wow. Oh, let me get rid of that word administrative. Did I do military spouse? No, I didn't. I'm going to show you the sample resumes in just 1 second before we stop. So don't worry. In just a minute. I'm going to do one more here and then I'm going to go to the book. Project manager, Corps of Engineers, looking for the language that says how MSP PPP will work. Again, and you could do this yourself after the class. Just go to some of these and see MSP for overseas. It says, is this job overseas? Is this overseas? Pacific Ocean. I guess it's overseas. Oh, I guess it is. It's like Japan or something, or Pacific Ocean. All right, let's see if it has the language. So it's MSP. I basically just wanted to prove to you that this is real. And I already did prove it to you with that one announcement with Air Force. So there it is. I found it. I found it. There it is. MSP will receive a preference consideration and will be placed if selected at the highest level for which determined BQ. Boom. There you go. So I think that if you live on an installation and you're military spouse, and you should play this game. You know, I post a link to for the checklist.
And he is going to need it.
What checklist?
He was going to get a new plan for ED or he was saying that he needed it for one. Okay, going for a meeting. He needs it, but he doesn't currently be involved. You know, he's a and he's a 300 somewhere.
Oh, yeah, the checklist.
That's right now.
There you go. There you go. Kelly put it up. Great, thank you. I do have it on my website also. I have it under my resources link, and it's right here, military spouses.
For the job site would be very beneficial to him.
Yeah, I have it here also. You can pick it up there also. Are the requirements for MSP for the same? Yeah, they are the same. But the thing about the, being a spouse of disabled veteran, you can use MSP or the veteran's preference. You can use both. So, you know. Okay, I want to show you in the book the case studies. Hold on. I think you should get the book. You could get the print book, the print books here, or the other one. Full case study, page 74. I have the before and after resume and a job announcement, a set of keywords for each of the case studies. This is Rachel. This is her resume before. And look, she even had her hiring authority on her before resume. That was smart. She did that on her own. She's looking for medical coder. Okay, that's all before. This is the announcement. We're trying to help her get hired at the VA, medical coder remote. And these are her keywords right there. Bunch of keywords. And this is the after. So we went crazy with her education because being a coder, she has to have a lot of good education. Look, there's her 2 military spouse, hiring authority EO 13473 and PPP. It's reasonable to put that up there at the top. We put her courses, her certification courses, her bachelor's degree, courses for her RN, and then her registered nurse. And I have to tell you about this accomplishment. I have a chapter in the book on writing CCARs. And oh, geez, we only have 4 minutes. I'm going to go over a little bit. This accomplishment is so incredible. I had to drag this out of her. I had a big, she's a real person. I was a referral specialist for patients born before 35 weeks who are susceptible for RBS. She provided the code so that families could get this special shot for these premature babies so that they could get this RSV shot. They didn't have to pay $1,000 for this shot. She did the code research for that. She saved babies' lives. That is a coding story right there. That's an accomplishment for a coder. She was able to obtain approval for every patient. We should have put there worth $1,000, but that's a story. I'm going to recommend you put accomplishments into your resumes so that you have something special. This is the outline format. Look at her employment history. There it is. This is her military spouse job block. I mean, to think of a spouse not putting this in just makes me feel sad because I think it should be in there because it's a lot of work. A lot of work. Okay, then there's her 2-page resume. I put 2-page resumes in here for each spouse, like at the last minute. I mean, I stopped the presses to do this. I'm so glad I did because now I believe everybody should have 2 resumes in the world because of the thing that just happened. So medical coder, RN. So there's her 2-pager. We did keep her military spouse job block in the 2-page resume because she's going to work in a hospital somewhere near a military base. Why not? Here's her cover letter. Okay. Okay. Here's the next case study. Laura, social worker. Going for social worker. She's a military spouse. Here's her before resume. Can you believe this? It's too short. It's like a joke. This is real. These are real people. They volunteered to put their resume in the book. I know them. Here's her announcement, social worker. She hasn't graduated yet, so she does not have this job yet. She's just finishing her degree. And she's authorized for all these hiring authorities. You saw that before in the PowerPoint. There's her accomplishment. This is such a good story. It's not exactly a success story, but she coached this young guy, this male client, to help him to think about getting recovered from whatever he was doing. I helped to plant the seed of change for an early 20s male client who was not quite ready for recovery. Oh, it's so sweet. That's it, her story. I love this accomplishment. Look at this. I single-handedly established a combat stress clinic for COS Virginia, supporting the entire thing. These accomplishments are so important. You need to take a look at your resume after the class and see if you have accomplishments in your resume. And if you don't, really, really think about adding a couple of specific stories to your resume. And there's her PCS history and her 2-pager. And we left it in there. There's our PCS history, it's in there, 2-pager. And then let me show you one more. This is Courtney, she's the one going for fitness with her new degree. Extreme career changer. She currently works in the government. She works in Dakota. She has 11. This resume format is so popular in government. It's called the big block. It's really, really bad. Don't do it. It's unreadable. So we fixed it. Okay, she's going for fitness director. And here's her keywords. And here's her resume. Those are hiring programs. These are her objectives. I put her objectives on there just because I thought it was nice to say what she's looking for. Education, we put her courses in. I love that. And more of that. And her accomplishment is really good. Where is it? Her CCAR. It's right there. There's her CCAR. She, as an ACS person, I was the only person who could process loans and grants, whereas most operations have at least 4 people. She got the Civilian Achievement Award. She secured 100,000 in grants for 70 soldiers. That's the CCAR accomplishment. So accomplishments are important. That's me. Now, one more thing I have to show you. I can't stop quite yet. Just one more thing. I did good. I covered so much. I just have to show you the accomplishment chapter in here because it's so impressive. It's so good. Page 62. I really seriously want you to look at your resume after the class and see if you have accomplishments in here. And okay, here's a story about moving from Hawaii to New York and the challenges of doing it as a military spouse through COVID. Okay, and there's the resume version there, right? The COVID move story. And then here is the neonatal code story. This is the CCAR, which stands for the context, the challenge, action, and results. Oh, I'm glad you have the checklist now, Micah. That's good. And there's the addiction story and then the grants and loan story. Okay, I know you all have to go, but I have to ask you this question. You can't go until you answer this. What is your 1 or 2 top takeaways from the military spouse federal job webinar? I'll make it short. 1 or 2 top takeaways. Please, please tell me. I need some feedback from you. And I'm going to post this and I'll tell you where so that you can find it. I'm going to send you the PowerPoint, the check sheet. Oh, I'm so glad you like the job block. I want you to buy the book. I'll send you the link. And I hope that you'll stick with it and use this MSP PPP. And if you do get a federal job, you should send me an email and say, Kathryn, I did it. I did it. I did everything you said. And I got hired. It did take me a couple years or something, but I did it. And don't forget now, there's a hiring freeze right now. So you can't get discouraged at the moment. You have to wait until the hiring freeze is over, and then you have to just get going. But in the meantime, you can work on your resume, play this game. And I'll send you this, I'll send you the chat list too, so you can review it. Because the chat list is kind of a good review of the class. I won't post it, but I'll send it to you, everybody. Okay, so the class today was for military spouses to help you to know about the hiring authorities, that they exist, that they're really good, and also to promote the military spouse job block, because I think it's really good. It demonstrates great competencies and knowledge as a spouse moving around so many places, and also about how to write a best qualified federal resume so that you can take advantage of the hiring authorities. Because if the resume is not best qualified, it's not going to work. And I think you should buy the book. So there. I think you need the book. I have another book if you know anybody that needs it, anybody who's been let go from the government or worried about it, this book here, if you get a chance to take my transition class on how to transition a federal resume to private industry, it's really, really good. I can send you the link. I'm teaching a class on that soon, free, 1 hour. I'll send you the link. You should take it. Thanks, everybody. I'm so happy you all came to the class. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm glad you liked it. Look, I did it. It's only 4 minutes after. I did it. Oh my gosh, thank you, everybody. I really did cover what I wanted to. The book, USA Jobs, Save Searches, the self-cert sheet. I even showed you the homeschool teacher blog, which I don't normally do. I did it all. That's about as fast as it can get. But anyway, you can look at it again. I'm posting it. I'm posting it. I want you all to look at it again. I'll let you know where I'm posting. I'm posting it public. I have a YouTube. It's got a bunch of stuff on it. I haven't posted anything for a while because I don't really do it very often, but I'm doing it this time. This information needs to get out there. You can share it. Yeah, Mary, quick overview. That's right. That's right. The resume is critical. Just one more thing. Let me just say one more thing. If we provide services at Resume Place, coaching resumes and reviewing resumes, we do charge to do it, but it's incredibly excellent and worth every penny. And if you want more information on it, you can write to me. It's worth it. We are really good, and resumes are just so critical for quality of life and earnings and everything else. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming. Have a great weekend wherever you are in the world. Sunny here in California. Sunny California day. Yesterday, I went to a ukulele a concert for 70 fifth graders. How good is that, right? I know. 70 ukulele fifth graders. Okay, that's a cool concert. All right, thanks, everybody. I'm signing off. Thank you for coming. I hope you get the book. You can write to me. You got my email. I'll send you the stuff very soon. Figure out how to sign off. Bye, everybody. Nice to meet you. I always want to get the chat before I sign off because I always love the chat and I like to send it to people. So let me grab it here. Make sure I got it. Yep. I'm good. Bye, everybody.